our next speaker is actually a really special person to me because I get to work and learn from him every single day. And he's currently growing the biggest brands and crypto personalities, and he's also leading social media and content at Mingle, which is one of the biggest crypto newsletters. So let's give a warm welcome to Raul.
Thank you. Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Thank you, Diana, for that beautiful introduction. GM, guys. My name is Raul. I'm 24. I'm a content producer at Milk Road, and I'm here to figure out how the hell we can make crypto simple for people. Now, I'm assuming that most of us here in this room have been in crypto for a while. So please raise your hands if you've been in crypto for over a year. Nice. That's what I expected. Now, how many here are just investors, just investing in crypto? Not that many. Wow. Okay. How many of you are working on building some cool shit? How many of you are working on a project or building something? Nice. Great. How many of you here create content? Nice. And how many of you collect overpriced JPEGs? I mean, NFTs. Quite a few. Nice. Regardless of what it is that you're doing in crypto, I think it's safe to say that this industry has become a very big part of your life, so much so that your family is always wondering what it is that you do. And with Easter being this Sunday, I inevitably got asked about crypto. And as I was explaining how crypto works, how NFTs worked, I was starting to slowly but surely lose people. And so I decided to get some help. I decided to ask ChatGPT to explain crypto to me in one super short sentence. And here's what it said to me. Cryptocurrency is digital money secured by cryptography, enabling peer-to-peer transactions without a central authority. Now, I don't think that fucking helps, okay? It's a shitty explanation, and that's when I realized that we have a huge problem in this industry. I have that, and most people in this room have that when they try to explain crypto to other people. I mean, come on, what the fuck is cryptography? What is peer-to-peer? And what does a central authority even mean? The problem we have in this industry is that we use words like decentralization, proof of work, nodes, blockchain, and so on, without realizing that 90% of the people out there, they don't care about this stuff, and they don't know what these words mean. Now, most of the people in this room, we get that. We get that cryptography enables anonymous transactions. We get that peer-to-peer means that we can transact without intermediaries. We get that removing the central authority means less fees and less power for the government. And we get that decentralization allows everyone in the world to plug into a network without asking for permission. But remember, most people out there, they don't get these things, nor do they care about them. Most people don't care about, the risks that come with centralized companies, the risk with fiat-backed, fiat currencies that are backed by the government. And they don't understand how the internet is evolving, and they don't realize the limitations, the problems, and the features that are missing on the internet today. So when we explain crypto to people using buzzwords like these, they will not understand, and they will not care about it. So rule number one when you try to simplify crypto for people, in my opinion, is to not use buzzwords. Okay, now let me talk about how to approach the situation when you first explain crypto to someone. Most of us, and ChatGPT included here, explain crypto as digital money that can be sent across borders without permission and with low fees, right? Now, in my opinion, that's a huge problem because payments is only one of the many use cases that crypto brings to the table. And my hot take is that most people, they do not care about payments and they do not care about things like Bitcoin. Now, let me explain what I mean. In Europe, we have Revolut. In America, they have Venmo. In the UK, they have Monzo. In China, they have WeChat. All of these applications and neobanks allow us to send money to each other in a fairly safe, instant, and cheap way. And that's what most people need, right? Most people do not need to send transactions to countries in like Africa, South America, where fees might get expensive. Most people just need a simple form of payment that they can use within their own country, which most people already have. So when you explain crypto to people as if this is an alternative way to how we transact in crypto, most people, especially those in developed countries, they will not care. And the same goes for Bitcoin, right? One of the greatest inventions ever, a store of value that is fundamentally better than anything we've ever seen. Most people won't care about Bitcoin because they don't need it. Of course, they will care about it in terms of speculating on its price, but most people will not put their savings into Bitcoin because it's the store of value that they need. Now, of course, that's the case only when you're talking to people in developed countries like the UK, the US, or even Romania. Why not? They probably don't care about that because their currency is fairly stable and they can live a good life despite the occasional rises in inflation. So if you explain Bitcoin and payments to these people, they probably will not get it because they don't have a need for it. Of course, then you have people in Argentina, Turkey, whose currencies experience 100% inflation, and those people would get it. Now, then we have NFTs. And guess what? Most people do not care about NFTs. If you look at the people in this room, if you look at the people in this industry, you'll realize that a lot of JPEG fanatics, we're also into art, music, fashion, and things like ethically sourced coffee from Ethiopia, right? I love coffee. People like us, we care about culture, gaming, fashion, VR, AR, where the internet is going, and things like memes. So the reason we love NFTs so much is because NFTs are simply a tokenized alternative on-chain to the things we already love in real life. So they're very familiar to us, and we understand them, but most people won't, and that's what we have to realize. And the point I'm trying to make here is that we're all different. We all care about different things, as we've seen. Everyone is building stuff, everyone is an investor, everyone's doing different stuff. So when we explain crypto to people, we shouldn't do it in a very generic way, often focusing on just Bitcoin or payments, because that's just stupid, right? And I think we need to flip that. So rule number 2 is, in my opinion, to ask questions. Find what people care about. Now, I've produced crypto content for almost 3 years now, and I've learned that we have to apply some sales psychology when we explain crypto to anybody. What do I mean by sales psychology? Well, I think most of you are aware of the sell me this pen scene from Wolf of Wall Street. By the way, I think if this guy if NFTs were a thing back then, this guy would have been applauded, but they weren't, so that kind of sucks for him. Anyway, the simple idea behind this scene is that you should never start explaining the feature of this pen when you're in this situation. Like, oh, it's amazing, you can write your ideas down with it, I've had a personal experience that was great with it, blah, blah, blah. People don't really care about that. What they care about is themselves, and how can this thing help them? So the only rational thing you can do in this situation is ask a question. Like, how long have you been looking for a pen? Why do you need a pen? How much would you like to spend on a pen? And so on. Find what problems people have or what needs they have and how this pen can help them. If we apply that to crypto, it's pretty straightforward. You just got to know who you're speaking to before you explain anything. You got to ask questions. You got to find out what problems people have. So the first time when people ask you about what is crypto, don't just go ahead and just explain payments and Bitcoin. Ask them, what is they interested in? Maybe you know them. So for example, if you're speaking to an advertiser in Web2, you know that they understand the problem of how centralized companies exploit our data. So to them, you can tell them how Web3 and crypto can enable more open source algorithms and more transparent methods of working. They will get that. If you're speaking to someone like me, whose Twitter account was banned for 5 times in the last year for no freaking reason, then you might explain decentralized social to me. Tell me about Forecaster, Lens Protocol, Mirror, and how all these platforms empower users to own their content and their followers. The point is, when your grandma asks you what her internet is, you do not say the internet is a global network of computers that allows for the sharing and accessing of information across vast distances instantly. No, you don't say that. What you tell her is that she can chat with her grandkids who live 1,000 kilometers away, or that she can add her neighbor babushka on Facebook because that's what she would really care about. Now, I think this meme will make a lot of sense to the Romanians in this room, maybe not to anyone else. And that's rule number 3. Emphasize on the results, not the features of the technology that you're trying to explain. Now, I've studied marketing at uni for 3 years, and then I've been a content writer and a copywriter for almost 3 years as well. And what I've learned is to not focus on the features, focus on the results. This is almost like a law that everyone I've worked with in marketing focuses on as if their lives depended on it. And it's a crucial thing that we all need to apply when we try to explain crypto to other people. And here I've just listed out a few examples that you can just follow. So maybe take a photo of this, whatever. Now you've come this far. When you try to explain crypto to people, you haven't used any buzzwords. You have asked questions to find what people are interested in, what they like, what the problems they have. And you found the use cases that are relevant to them, and you've explained them. I think you've done a good job at this point. And if the person you're speaking to isn't like a closed-minded douchebag that will just say no to whatever you tell them, they will probably be interested to learn a bit more about what it is that you do. At this point, the last thing you want to do is leave them hanging. And I think you always got to give them something to show them the use cases of this technology. So that's rule number 4, show use cases by giving them an action they can take. From personal experience, here's a few things that I've found super helpful when trying to onboard people, mainly because they are very easy to use and it's very instant. By the way, I got my dad, who's 50, he barely knows how to use Spotify, but he's done all of this stuff on chain, which is super amazing. Now, the number 1 thing is to download Coinbase wallet on their phone. The best wallet in crypto right now, super easy to use. Send them some ETH using Base or another layer 2 and show them that the transaction you just sent cost $0 and it was instant. Then get them an ENS. ENS allows for their name, .eth, to be the face of the wallet. That always gets them excited because their wallet now has an identity. Get them on Forecaster. This is a social media platform that is very similar to Twitter, but it's on-chain. It has different use cases, and then you can go in a bit more depth. But get them on Forecaster first. Get them to purchase their own NFT. Now you have endless options here. On every chain, there's so many NFTs. So just focus on getting some cool art, and that will be amazing. Number 6, get them to mint a song on sound.xyz. Again, this is being done on an L2, on Optimism. It's safe, instant, and cheap, and they get to own part of a song and the rights to it, which is pretty cool. Now, if you've gotten this far, you've gotten this person to do the following. They have created a wallet in which they hold some cash. They got an identity for their wallet, which is their name. They sign up for an on-chain social media platform, which is Forecaster. They interacted with the NFT marketplace when they purchased the NFT. They did a transaction, right, buying the NFT, and then they minted the song, which they now own in their wallet. At this point, you've showed them the main use case that is in crypto, that is for crypto and Web3, and that's interoperability. They've done all of these things using just one wallet, one single wallet. They never even had to note down a password that they need to remember later, except for maybe their seed phrase. At this point, this is the use case you need to hammer home for them by asking them how much better is this, where everything is interconnected, than that, where you have to remember a password, email, username, and so on, for every app you use online right now. That includes Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Google, Amazon, things like Emag, and 100 other apps that we use every single day. And at that point, they're more likely to get it. They're more likely to understand the words that, and what they mean, like interoperability, decentralization, permissionlessness, because they've experienced the use cases firsthand by using all of these platforms. But if you hadn't shown them these examples, they probably would have been left very, very confused. Okay, that was quite a lot. So let's do a quick recap of the 4 things to keep in mind when you try to explain or onboard someone into crypto. First, don't use buzzwords. I think most of us, even in this room, we don't understand half of these buzzwords that we're throwing around in this industry most of the time. So don't even bother, because you'll just lose them right away. Second, ask questions. I think the biggest mistake we can do is just assume that people are interested in payments, Bitcoin, or tokenized culture, whatever, and we just go right ahead and explain something. No, find what people care about by asking questions. Once you figure out what they're interested in, focus on the results and not the features. Even if they're interested in Bitcoin because they need a form of like store of value, don't tell them it's decentralized and stuff like that. Just tell them what it can do for them. You just know, like, if everyone has problems, you just got to figure out how crypto can solve those problems for them. And don't act like crypto can solve every problem. That's just not true. And fourth, give them an action to take on-chain. That's super straightforward. Show them concrete examples they can take. Keep it simple, cheap, instant, but impactful. And with all the apps that are being built out there right now, the sky's the limit here. Okay, I'll stop talking now. Thank you for listening. My name is Raul, and I'm a content producer at Milk Road. If you're not aware, Milk Road is the fastest growing newsletter in crypto with over 300,000 subscribers. And we deliver a daily 5-minute newsletter that breaks down the latest crypto news and events. And our values are very simple. We deliver an easy read with good info and good jokes, all in that order, just so everyone can get smarter about crypto every single day. I truly hope that my talk here helped you think about how to approach explaining crypto to a normie. After all, our journey to 1 billion people in this industry depends on us onboarding every single person on our own every single day. So yeah, thank you for listening, and I can't wait to see you around the event. Oh, and if there's any questions, I'm here for like 1 more minute. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for the talk. It was super interesting, and I think it makes a lot of sense about like not using buzzwords and like being much more clear about what we want to communicate. But what I wanted to ask, I mean, I think from a content perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But as a builder, like if you're building a project, it's very difficult to either focus on the crypto natives or focus on the, let's say, the newbies that are coming from the outside. They don't know the lingo, they don't know the words. If you build a project and like all the copy on the website and the project is more dedicated to the newbies, you might push away the, let's say, the crypto natives. So then like you have this conflict between like, who should I kind of target like in the audience? Should I focus on the crypto natives? Should I like just because they are much more willing to spend money to join a project and so on? Or should I focus on the normies and put a higher effort to educate them and so on?
Yeah, great question.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, great question. I think a lot of people struggle with that actually, just because I feel like a lot of projects don't have the clarity of like what it is that they're building and why they're doing it. So they don't really know their audience. And that's where that dilemma comes in. We're like, okay, who do I target? Do I target crypto natives or do I target non-crypto natives? And that's kind of like up to you as a builder of like what problem does your project, your app, your whatever it is you're building, what does it fix for people? And then find the people who have that problem, whether they're crypto natives or non-crypto natives, that doesn't even matter, and target them. That's pretty straightforward.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Yeah. Give her the mic.
So I do get asked a lot the question like, where do I start to learn like Web3? Because like when it comes to women, I mean like I've been reading Milk Road for like a while, and it's not for normies, let's say.
Yeah.
So for example, when it comes to women, I always send them to Shify, like that's the best place to start. But then if you're not a woman, what do you do?
Oh, good question. I think we have another problem that we have is that we don't have many spaces for dedicated to women. We always like either stay generalized or just target males in crypto, kind of like sucks. But I think you're right. There's not many places where you can go and consume like 1 hour of content and get caught up on everything. And I don't have the answer, but we are working on a beginner course at Milk Road, which will be launched sometime in May or early June. That in 1 hour is going to be totally free. We'll walk you through the main use cases of crypto and like how this can change people's lives and how you can interact with that. So that's all I can give you right now. I don't have any like sort of community. I know Shifa is amazing, but I don't have any other communities that I've personally been involved in that help me. Most of my journey has been like invest in crypto and then learn. Which I think most of the people in this room have. But I think we've reached a point where that doesn't really work anymore. We still need to onboard people in the bear markets where the financial incentives are not that big. And so yeah, we need to figure out the use cases that people can use like, every day despite being incentivized financially. Any other question? Cool, thank you guys.